Welcome to Urban Knife Guy, where we discuss knives for city dwellers. Today we're going to do something different. We aren't going to talk about knives, but we're going to talk about these holders for knives. These are leather EDC pouches that's everyday carry, and it's designed to hold 3 different items. These are small to medium-sized pouches made by 2 different manufacturers, but the 3 items they're designed to hold include a knife, of course, a flashlight, and a pen. So we're going to have a look at both of these leather EDC organizers and see if they're worth your time. First, let's have a look at this particular pouch. This is made from a brand called Easyant. You can see the stamp over there. I believe those are the 2 ant eyes. But it's 2 words, Easyant. And this brand is from China. So this is made from China. It's made of crazy horse leather. I believe that's what crazy glue is made from. The leather is quite soft. It's also a bit shiny, which means I believe it can get scratched. Very malleable, as you can see. And there are 3 sections to hold 3 different items. So for the knife, based on their product description, you can put in a standard Swiss Army knife, a Benchmade proper, or a small Chris Reeves Sebenza 21. For the flashlight, you can put a Surefire Titan Plus, an Olight i3T or i5T, and a Streamlight Micro Stream. And then you can put a small pen over here in this compartment. Let's have a look at the knives first. I do have my knife, which is my EDC currently, and this is the James brand, the Ellis, and that obviously can fit in quite well. And you can imagine most knives around that size can fit in. So whether it's a standard Swiss Army knife, and this is the Swiss Army Spartan, that fits in easily as well, and there's still excess space. So let's look for a bigger knife. This is the Ontario Rat 2, and that I believe fits in as well. So there is quite a generous space there for a small to medium sized knife. The Civivi Rustic Gent also fits in, and I have a slightly larger knife, the Civivi Trailblazer, and that still fits in. So you get an idea of how much space there is for this compartment. Now for the flashlight compartment, you do need an EDC size, doesn't have to be a pencil size sort of flashlight, but something this size that can fit in, and that's a snug fit, as you can see. Now it can be longer because there is a hole at the bottom, so that can come out. And I believe probably they have this hole just so that you could switch on the light if you need, without even taking it out, if you just need a bit of illumination. And for this particular slot over here, I've got a Zebra extendable pen that obviously would fit in, but I believe it can fit in a Fisher Space Pen, and based on the product description, that can fit, and just based on what I see, I believe it will have no problem fitting in as well. So this is how the EDC organizer looks when it's kind of filled up. With a bigger knife like that, you can see there's a bit of a bend here. Let's go with a slightly smaller knife. Let's go with a standard Victorinox. So a lot of you guys would have a knife like that. Well, I guess with this, it still bends just a bit, but that's to be expected. You can see even bends for the flashlight, but that's how it looks like. The whole package is quite good. The dimensions of this is 4.72 inches long here, 3.15 inches over here, and the weight is just 88 or 0.88 ounces or 25 grams. So it is lightweight, it is soft. This will go into your pocket no problem. It can kind of take the shape of your thigh if it's in your pocket, or if you choose, you can put it into your bag or your pouch. So I tried this out for a bit. In terms of functionality, in terms of organize your EDC items and to bring it around, obviously not much of an issue. I do feel that this just feels a bit soft, and that could just be my preference. I think, if you give it over time, it might kind of work its way in, look a bit more distressed and worn, which will give it a nice aged look, as with all leather products. But I'm not too sure, just because of the way this leather is. It is a bit thin, but it's not just thin, it just feels a bit not robust. However, if you do like this look, because it's aesthetically quite pleasing, right? There's a 3 or 2-tone look. There's the dark brown and there's the black, and of course, well, 3-tone if you include the stitching as well of the thread. it is very aesthetically pleasing. There's also this lanyard hole if you want. You could just, I guess, put a lanyard, or you could maybe clip a carabiner and just hang it by your belt if you wanted, or your bag. The other thing in terms of the leather, look at this part here. So this is where the pen goes, and this black piece of leather is actually even thinner than this leather over here. And you know, I haven't even used it much, and it already feels like it might peel. Now, I have some experience with some leather products from China, and it does tend to peel like that over time. So that's the only thing that I might be worried about, especially if you're going to use a pen clip like that, and it gives it a bit of stress, or when you're pushing against that over time, maybe that might give. I really haven't given this enough time to really know, but that's something to consider if you were to buy this particular pouch. Let's have a look at the other one. The next leather EDC organizer is made by Fox EDC, based out of Lithuania. Generally, the craftsmen out of Eastern Europe make really nice leather products, and this is no exception. It is made from full-grained vegetable tan leather, which has more fiber strength and durability. As it ages, it will develop a patina over time. This leather often comes with an aniline finish, which stains or dyes the leather while still allowing the natural grain to show through. This allows the leather to continue to breathe, as opposed to other types of leather which are sanded down and given a thicker finish coat. So this is hand-sewn saddle stitch and has a very luxurious look. And what I like about this particular leather, and maybe just the treatment, I guess a combination of the thickness and the treatment and the type of leather, over time, it will form fit over your tools. So of course that means you have to be sure what you want to put inside, because if it forms fit to that particular size, if you put something smaller, it's probably not going to hold as well. But based on the product description, this particular holder is supposed to hold various things like the Victorinox Spartan, specifically this knife, and it indeed can fit inside. Now, you would need to pull it out using the ring, or you can attach a lanyard, as I did with my EDC over here. So that fits in. As you can see, it's really form-fitting around it because I use it every day, but I do have a lanyard just to make it easy to pull out. Now, the other knife, it says in the product description, is the Ontario Rat Model 2. Now, I have my suspicions about this because I try to put it in. It does go in, except when it comes to the thumb studs. Then you see it's not all the way in. There's still space below here, and I guess you really have to force it in, but that would expand the pouch even more. So I'm not too sure if this knife would really fit in perfectly because of those thumb studs. Let's have a look at the Civivi Rustic Gent. That will fit in very nicely. Let's try a bigger knife like the Trailblazer. That I think it could fit in. I don't want to force it in because I don't want to ruin the shape. But I can imagine if I took out the pocket clip here, this end could just slide in quite well. So compared to the Easyant, this knife slot is slightly smaller. For the flashlight, it is designed for a light like this, which is the Olight IT5. So that can fit in, and there's a small hole again, I guess, for the light to come out, but it's not like the Easyant, which is big enough so that you can put a much longer flashlight. So that's something to take note of. In terms of the pen holder, it cannot take a Fisher Space pen. It's just too tight. So, but it does fit a thin pen like this, the Zebra extendable pen, and that to me fits perfectly well. So when I put in all my gear, everything fits nicely for me, but because I've been using it for some time, it has kind of form fitted over these items, and I can put this in my pocket. And even though of course there is weight, I don't really feel the weight that much. You know, it often disappears in my pocket, and I find it very comfortable. It kind of can also form fit around my thigh, right? You can imagine if it's in the pocket, it just bends around. So the height for this is 3.67 inches. The width is 2.68 inches, not including this elastic band. So let's compare the two now and see if one is better than the other. So here we have both of the EDC organizers filled up, each with 3 items, roughly about the same size. You can see how they look side by side. Now, size-wise, they're actually almost identical in size if you ignore this flap. So I'm going to just fold this down so that you can have a look. If you don't have the flap, it's almost exactly the same height and width, right? Negligible. So if you do prefer this one but just don't like this back flap, because I personally don't like the back flap, well, you could cut it off. But between the two, I guess you know which is my preferred choice, and it's this one from Fox EDC because I've been using it every day. Now let's talk about the price first. The price for the Easyant is $18.99, and for the Fox EDC it's about $28.40. So about $10 difference, so US dollars, $10 US difference. Do I think this is worth $10 more? Personally, I feel so, because I think that the type of leather used, the treatment of the leather actually is better. And I do like this kind of look a bit more, and I like this form-fitting look. However, if you're looking for something, I guess, a bit more smooth, a bit more shiny, although that might go over time, you might like this, and you save $10 US. Now, in terms of quality, I think different choices could be made in terms of the material. Now, the Chinese can make good leather products, so it's not like they can't. Now, I'll show you some examples of sheaths. So this is the Civivi sheath that comes with the rustic gent. So it actually comes with this knife over here, and that's supposed to fit in. So this leather is actually about the same thickness, if not even thinner, but it's a different type of leather, right? And you can feel it from the back of the grain. This is more robust. And here's another sheath. This is from QSP, also a Chinese company, and this leather is thick and also robust, and this is really well made. You can even see the edges and how it's been finished, very similar to how the Fox EDC leather has been finished as well, the edges, but not this one. This is just left kind of untreated. So I think that could have made a difference in terms of just giving it maybe more stability as well. So just judging by these two sheaths, which are made in China, the Chinese can make good quality sheaths, but I think this one could have been done to make it more affordable. It's, as mentioned, $19 US. But you are getting what you pay for. So there you have it, 2 different holders, both made of leather, both the same size virtually, and both to hold 3 different items. Let me know in the comments which you prefer. Do you prefer Easyant or do you prefer Fox EDC? And if you have another leather EDC organizer or pouch of similar size that you think is even better, let me know in the comments as well. I will be doing a review on canvas holders in a future video, so look out for that. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like the content in general, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep it folded, keep it safe. Can't really fold this.